Hello there, welcome back to Simon's Shed. It's time for another Severn Valley Railway layout update, which is my N-gauge version of part of the Severn Valley Railway. So I've been chipping away with a few distractions. We had a pipe burst in the kitchen, which sort of stopped progress for a little while, and I've been spending a lot of time on one building in particular that you'll see in this update. But yeah, hope you're all well, hope things are okay. Things are still moving forward in here, so let's take a look at what's coming up. More work on the track, actually getting some trains running, and a new station building. So yeah, hopefully I can provide a bit of an alternative to all the football and tennis that's going on at the moment, if you want a little break from that. So let's take a look and start with what I've been doing on the track. So I've been over the entire track, painstakingly scraping the ballast off the sleepers and the rails, making sure everything's running smoothly and looking good, before weathering the track with the airbrush, as you've seen me do before. So worth doing, quite painstaking. So let's, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, so let's speed things up, and then we'll give you an overview and we'll get some trains running. Give you a quick sweep of the current situation, and then I'll tell you what I've been up to. So all of the points are now very carefully ballasted. I did have one that I managed to stick the blades down to, but not they weren't too bad. So that's the whole of the sort of scenic layout. Points were ballasted and track has all been airbrushed with the roof dirt colour and then the smoke, the grey colour. In the end I didn't go for the black. I think it was dark enough anyway. So, and obviously I've now got some trains running. So let me show you the weathering on the track, and we'll follow this train round. So it's all been done, even the sidings here. We've wanted to go really dark in the station, or in both stations, and I think that's made it look a lot more realistic. I've done a bit more weathering at the tunnel mouth there and on the roofs of some of the buildings. Got a little bit carried away with the airbrush and I had to sort of tell myself to stop. I think I did some grey on the roads as well to darken this road down, and with the mud, sort of roofed muddy colour. Let me just find it. I can't tell you what colour it is anyway, but it's the label's painted over. I'm sure I mentioned it in my previous video. I've got sort of a brown roof dirt colour possibly, and then a sort of smoky grey colour, and as I say, the black, which I didn't use. So it sort of lightens up around here. It's quite dark going into the station. And I've once that was all airbrushed, I've had to go around with a track rubber to rub the paint obviously off the top of the rails, and that's obviously prompted me to see if I can get the all the tracks running again. Hence we've got 3 trains running around on 3 different lines. So you can see it's quite light weathering here, and then on the mainline tracks again it's a lot cleaner than the stations that have steam trains sitting in them. And then I was sort of thinking what to do next, and essentially I've just been playing trains. So because I hadn't run any trains for so long, I started running them, as I say, to make sure the track was back working again, and that I'd got all the paint off the rails, and then I've kind of just carried on playing trains for now. So let's just have a quick break and get a few running shots. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly have enjoyed running some trains for a change. It's been really good fun, and it's sort of given me the urge to try and get things a bit more finished on the scenery so that I can do some more of this, because obviously building the scenery has been kind of stopping me. So there's loads to do, and it's just a case of finding out where to sort of focus, really. I did start messing with the diesel depot. I've removed the cardboard from the tracks here because the trains just wouldn't run through there. The lip was just too high, but then I kind of put the lid back on and forgot about it, because I think what I should do is focus on the worst bit and try and get that up to scratch, and that's, you know, when that's in place, it's definitely not the worst bit of the layout. So there's a lot to do around here. Fencing and trees needs to go all along here. Obviously loads more detail. I've got some of the bits like barrels and skips and stuff that I could put here in this sort of turntable area, but I'm not sure whether that's the right area to focus on. And again, the whole of this fiddle yard I was going to cover over with a black sort of finishing edge. Loads more detail down here, obviously, on the platform needed, but really the worst bit is obviously here. There's no ground covering there or any of this, so it's probably here where I should focus, really, I think. So I'm going to start back down this end, I think, and sort of split it into two tasks. One, when I get a chance to come in the shed, sort out this ground surface and see what else I can do around this area. And two, something I can do in the house when I don't necessarily want to come out to the shed, is the two remaining buildings. And so depending on how far I get, I'll show you if I get far enough, but I have started the sort of glass fronted new Kidderminster station building, and I think I've got a way of building that's going to work. But yeah, I think I'll leave the trains running because it's quite relaxing and therapeutic, and as I say, I've really enjoyed it, and thankfully all three lines are running really smoothly as well, so that's good. There's a few bits I need to sort out with the points as well, a couple of points that are playing up, but yeah, as I say, running the trains has made me really want to finish off the scenery, so it leaves me to focus more on the rolling stock and running the trains and getting the points working properly where they're not. But yeah, this is fun. Okay, so I mentioned I might show you the Kidderminster station building if I'd got enough progress, and we made a decent start. But first, just as a reminder, so this is what we're aiming for. I've gone for the decided to do the new one, which has just been built, and we've got a lot of glass around one side of it. I'll show you, I'll take you through how I've got the bits for the sort of kit that I'm putting together. But yeah, that's what we're aiming for. Managed to find quite a few photos so I don't have to keep driving down there and reminding myself what it's like. From the other side, you get the idea. And that's sort of from the track side of things, it looks like that. So the most characteristic thing is obviously that big glass frontage. Now, I had a bit of a search round and lucked out in terms of materials. Don't know if you notice on the shed wall behind me there used to be some pictures in one of those sort of frameless frames where it's just a backboard with clips and then a plastic front, and this is the plastic front off of that. And it turns out if you score this, I bet it won't do it now, but if you score it and just bend it, there you go, you get a nice clean line, and it's quite strong and probably almost a millimetre thick. So decided to use that. And then of course the challenge is, how do you, well, you can probably see it already, but you might not know how I've done it. How do you get the lines to make it look like there are panels, you know, window panels? So I tried cutting out very thin strips of paper and sticking those on, and it looked a bit of a mess, to be honest. I think I've binned that effort. So what I did is, I showed these a couple of episodes ago, I went back to the acrylic paint pens and a ruler, and I've got a sort of grey one, and literally I've just drawn, so I've got the 3 glass sections that I need, and I've just drawn on with a ruler. And because obviously there's no sort of relief, it's flat to the glass, but in N gauge that would be such a small ledge anyway, you can barely notice. So yeah, cut the glass out to the right shape. That's for the train side, that's for the station, the car park side, and that's the front. And just did a bit of extra painting there for the doors, and there is a sort of brick wall built in to that bit there. So I'm just sort of getting the components ready, and we've got some pillars for inside, literally just rolled up paper with, again, paint pen marking those lines to look like the pillars in the corners of the building, which you can obviously see quite clearly through the glass. Then where there's brick down the side, I've built these sections out of card, and literally just I'll show you on this one, just cut the card out, score it, stick the brick on the inside, cut out these sort of almost like door sections, but they've got sort of posters in, or they'll have that one's got a ticket machine in, and just wrap the brick paper around, and then I'll glue that together like that one. And then we've got the back, which is almost finished, just needs trimming off. So we've got most of the roof sections. Those obviously just need sticking together. Most of the... do that bit again. So we've got most of the wall sections. There are some more details, such as little signs above the doors and so on. So we can stick those together. What obviously we haven't got anything completed on yet is the roof. Now I have got a sort of off-white colour. So I have got some plasticard from a while ago, a couple of different thicknesses. So I'm going to try and knock something up with that. But yeah, that's going to be a challenge. But that's where we're at so far. It's not a quick building, but I think it should look okay when it's finished. Right, I just want to show you a couple of details before I show you a bit more progress. I have constructed the sides of the building, but I just wanted to note this big post inside, so I've added that in, and I'm just doing this sign over here. Now, when I printed out the test one, I realised that you couldn't actually read the text. I was going to try and find out what the proper text is, but it doesn't matter at all because you can't read it, it's so small. So I've just done some comedy text that nobody will know is there apart from us. So there's the building. sides glued together, starting to take shape, and there is one of the signs, so I'll stick those on. Going to be interesting to do the interior. I'm going to have to do something with it. I probably won't go nuts initially with the detail, because I've spent a lot of time on this already and there are other things to do, but I probably will come back to it at some stage, because it's obviously glass on these three sides. You really can see the interior, so we'll have to get some people and some ticket desks and so on. But for now, I think I'll just pave it and put a little bit of detail in. And yeah, the other thing is I need to figure out how to do the roof. I've been sort of scoring and bending plastic hard to try and see what's possible. I was trying to sort of create a profile that I could use and just cut out, but I realised then if we did that and just cut the sort of profile off there, so that actually fell off, that joined onto there. But if I do that, when I get to the corner, I'm going to have to somehow mitre a 45-degree angle in, and that's going to be really difficult to make it look neat, I think. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is build it like that, obviously with a consistent gap, and then just get a strip and go around to cover the gap in the middle, so it'll be like that, and I think that'll hide the corners better. But yeah, the roof's going to be a challenge. But we'll carry on with a little bit of detailing for now. I've just given it a little bit of decoration now. I've found some posters from the West Midlands Railway website and stuck those on, and we've got a door there and a few more around the other side, and we've got those signs on now. So next I was going to do, there's a big feature which is the white Kidderminster Station lettering there. Then I realised, well, white on white paper is not going to work, so I found some transparency paper, overhead transparency, and printed it on that, and nothing appeared, because obviously inkjet printers don't have white ink in them. So then I managed to get it to print out in a very light colour that was sort of light grey yellow, and there it is. No, really, it is there. There we go. So obviously that's not going to be much use as a sign there, because you really can't tell that it's there. So unfortunately we're going to have to put up with a black sign, and I think I'm going to print that again, because it should go from sort of there all the way across to there, so that needs to be scaled up quite a lot. But yeah, it's going to have to be in black, as there's just no way. And you can see the size of the lettering. The whole thing's sort of a couple of millimeters high, so there's no way I can cut it out or anything. But yeah, we're making progress, and then after that I think I'll start on the roof. Right, the roof is on and almost finished, and I'm really happy with that. So If I can show you, probably can't see it, but it's obviously 2 layers. The 2 sheets gone on top of each other with just sort of card to space them out, and then I'm just going around the edge, cutting out a thin strip and trying to stick it as neatly as possible. There are a few bits where it sort of dips in a little bit, but most of it's pretty good. And yeah, I think I'll carry on detailing it a bit more, and obviously there's another lip sort of here, and loads of sort of what looks like sort of I could use sort of earth scatter on the roof, and little bits of heating and ventilation stuff and so on. So there's still a lot of little details to add, but I'm really happy that I seem to have captured the sort of essence of the new station there. So might do a little bit more. I mean, obviously I'll finish this bit off, but I might park that for a bit and place it on the layout and see what it looks like. So here is the building where it will sit on the layout. Let's have a look round. Obviously needs painting on the roof, but I've put some more details in. Still a little bit more to do on that, but it's been so long since I did a video that I think it's time to leave it there for now, and I am really happy with how that's turned out. I've also, if you look at the end two, try and point it out, those end two sections there, we've got a ticket machine, and we've got an ATM cash machine. So printed those out and put that in, stuck those on, just because that's what's there on the real one. But yeah, took a lot of time, but it really sort of captures the essence of what's really there. So I'll carry on with that and sort of paint the roof up and weather it and so on, but we'll leave the video there. So thanks very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you hadn't already, and I'll see you soon.
Perfect.